pod has landed.
Bike reveal 2013 Triumph Daytona 675R. This is Rick. Hey Rick. Ricardo is the man. He did all the hard work, heavy lifting. Thank you guys. Money. Okay guys, here we go. Gonna ride it home. This is Spacep0d here guys on the 2013 Daytona 675R. I just picked it up from Pro Italia. I test rode it and I was reminded how much I love this bike. And so I saw it go up on Cycle Trader after they prepped it and checked it out. And I showed up at 9 a.m. I had to convince my girlfriend to show up early because, you know, she didn't understand the urgency with which I was acting because the bike is that good. It was listed at $7,999 by Pro Italia, which is a very reasonable price for this year and this many miles. And so I did not wait, I jumped on it. Now, I wasn't the easiest client, but Ricardo at Pro Italia was a trooper. He really stuck in there. And the hilarious thing is that almost the entire last part of the transaction, there was a customer waiting to buy this thing with cash. And so they took a difficult customer, albeit, you know, an enthusiastic vlogger, and they worked with me, so I appreciate that, Pro Italia. Huge props to you. And that includes Bill Nation, the principal, and Ricardo and Rick. All of you guys just made this just really pleasant for someone who thought he had no business buying this bike at this moment because of my situation. And there it is. So the mods on this thing, this was like a big Hardy Boys mystery. Took me a while to figure out the mods, but it was fun. Pro Italia asked the former owner if I could call him. He said yes, and thank you, John. I was able to get a lot of information. The exhaust is a GP3 pipe with a GP2R can. That was information given to me by Austin Racing, Rich Austin himself. He actually looked at this picture that I sent him and identified the exhaust. The levers are Pozzo Shorties, but mysteriously, we have a name on one of the Pozzos. The name is Matty Rich. Now, I looked up Matty Rich. I don't know why he's on my lever. I asked the former owner, no response yet, but we'll see. Other mods, tail tidy here, more sliders here by T-Rex. The tires are Dunlop Qualifier 3, good choice. And the other mods here are the Watson marker lights. One of the mods the former owner did was to integrate the signal lights into the tail light here, and you can see that. It's actually animated, very cool. So that's about it for the mods, really. It doesn't need a whole lot. Let's do a quick startup. This is the loudest can that they make, by the way. You should know that. Startup. Okay, let's do some revs. This actually hurts my ears. We are at Angeles Forest Highway. I'm going back home. Long day of riding. And little time at Pro Italia. Had to sign some extra papers. And ate some lunch down there. This bike is amazing on this part of the road. It loves the sweepers. I love the sweepers as Spacep0d. Engine braking is just beautifully smooth. Incredible. You don't even need the brakes half the time. The riding position is committed. You do feel it in the lower back after a long ride. Brembos are good. Very linear in their stopping power. No harsh bite or anything. The wind blast is actually surprisingly calm on this bike. I don't know why that is. You wouldn't think so because the windscreen is fairly flat. This sucks. This is just unlucky. But you know, I live here. If I miss one ride, so what? I'm just glad to be out riding. I think eventually they're gonna stop somewhere. Action canceling. Now the thing about this bike, it's so precise and so sensitive. It is not as flickable as the 300, but it's amazingly sensitive. So you can actually push it deep into the corner and flick it in late. It was kind of difficult for me to get used to. But I sort of got used to it yesterday. If I'm comfortable on the road, I can use my regular late braking points. What happened to me yesterday is I kept turning in too early, then I had to correct my line, go wider, turn it in again, and that meant I wasn't trusting the bike enough to turn late as I normally would on the 300 because it turns so quickly. This thing turns very quickly, a lot like the 300 does, but just with a lot more power. Ride the bike instead of having it ride me. I know my braking points. I know my turning points. I know how the bike turns. I am not riding the Ninja 300 again until it sells. I'm gonna pass everybody here. You'll get to see the passing power. We're in fourth gear right now. Ah, motorcycle love.